Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm glad you could join me today. It's December 28th. We've had a nice spell of warm weather, and now we got a lot of cold weather coming up. And I thought it would be time that I'd put the 6 mil polyethylene plastic on top of the greenhouse cover today. So on the outside of the greenhouse here, I have these 1x2s. They're actually about 3/4 by 2 inches long, and so I have each one of these positioned over my 2x4 rafters, and then I had a couple screws, 2 in the low end and 2 on the top, that secured these battens. It helps secure the spun bonded polyester to the framework, and so I had taken already off a few of those, and I pulled the screws out of these for filming purposes, and just putting them there behind me. And so I had some aluminum capping on the end here I took off, and then over on this side I'm going to take some more off here. And so I just used some screws here, because what I want to do is, with this polyethylene plastic, obviously it'll keep it a little bit warmer in the springtime, and even come the fall, you'll get another month or more of having it being warmer inside. And so it'll also keep down the wind. When you get wind blowing over the greens or anything subject to wind, it tends to shrink them up. That dries the plant out. And so this will also keep the wind off the plants. And so I'm just taking off this capping here. I have a few more screws down below here. I bent this aluminum with an aluminum brake that I had from being a contractor. And then what I'm going to do is measure this plastic right now. And I have my good friend Jared. He's been in some of my other videos. He's here to help me today measure this up and put the plastic on it, because I'm always worried about, with the wind and all, it makes it nice if you have an extra hand. So I'm giving him the dummy end of the tape. That's what you call it in the trade, because I'm the guy that has to do the thinking here. So although he does have to hold it to the far end. So anyhow, right now we have 16 feet, and so the lean-to is 16 by, you can let it go there a minute, Jared. And let's see, up this way, it's about 98 inches long. And the plastic that I have here is 10 feet long. And so what we're going to do is, why don't we go over here and cut this right now, Jared. I'll give you this one end. I'm getting a utility knife out of my toolbox. Actually, if you want to take this end and hold it up there even on the plastic. There you go. And I'm going to cut this about a foot longer, so I'll cut it out around 17 feet. Make sure you have a nice sharp blade that'll just go right through that. We had a little bit of wind earlier, so I laid some bricks over this. So what I'm going to do is we're going to unfold this and unravel it and get it positioned a little bit on the greenhouse top, and then I'll see you back there. Okay, so we just cut the plastic, and it's about 6 inches long on each side. And what I have this is a nice Arrow electric staple gun, something I would really encourage you to think about buying if you have a lot of stapling to do. They're $20 or maybe a little bit more, somewhere around that number. But so what I did is I got a couple staples up in this corner and the opposite corner, and we stretched it tight, stapled each end, and what I have to do now is get up on the roof and tuck it in under some I have some flashing running along the top of the building there underneath the rain gutter. So I just need to hop up here and tuck that plastic under. Because once this is all stapled in on the ends, then I can put the center the battens down over the rafters again, and that's going to hold this plastic in nice and tight. And so I'm going to come down and finish stapling the rest of the sides on this lean-to greenhouse. I have to say, losing 65 pounds of body fat makes it a lot easier for me to get up on their roofs and do contracting again. So what I'm going to do is just take the plastic and roll it up a little bit, and then staple it. And what I did is, before I put the plastic on, I attached a 1x4 to the building on both sides and screwed it in along the bottom. And that way I'm stapling to the 1x4, because then come the spring season, right into, in June, I'm going to be taking this off again. So all I need to do is come and take these screws out along this 1x4 batten and then roll this up. That way, come the fall, when I go to put this on the same time next year, I can just unravel it and screw it back on again. It'll already be custom fit. So I'm just going to basically work my way up on each end. But what I'm going to do is go over to that other side and pull it tight the same way. And so I was really glad that Jared was here, because it seems like it's inevitable whenever we try to put plastic on our row covers, there's a wind that picks up. So it's always nice to have that extra hand there, have a friend around when you need them. And so I'm just simply, again, going to roll that plastic up. That way I don't staple just through one layer. See how nice that is? Kind of like how you would upholster a chair. And let me just come down here on the low end. But this is going to keep the greenhouse a lot toastier inside. The plants have already come to maturity, so the idea is just to, it'll keep the wind off them and all the rain out of there, or the snow. And plus, when it snows now, the snow will easily slide off this plastic. If I had just left the spun bonded polyester on there, it probably would have ruined that, the row cover. And so what'll be nice is, come springtime, I can just take this plastic off, and I already have the row cover all ready to go for the summer there, to keep the bugs off and off the plants. And so what we need to do here, Jared, is well, I could finish doing some more stapling up here. What I'm going to do is cut the plastic, and then I'll see you back here in a few minutes. So anyhow, I have the plastic put on, and it's stretched pretty nice, kind of like a bed sheet, you could say. And especially if you're in the Army, they like their sheets nice and stretched and fitted real well. And I still have to add some more staples, but for the most part, I got it stretched out pretty tight and stapled onto those end battens. So what I'm going to do is just, and I left this long in the front right now. I'm going to trim it once I get these battens on. And I have actually 5 of these battens. And you just want to make sure they're centered over each rafter. And what I'm going to do is put a few of these on for you. Put a few of these on, and then finish the rest off camera. But this will really help hold the plastic down nice and secure, or it also holds the row cover down in the summer. There we go. And I'm just kind of feeling with my hands where the center of the 2x4 rafter is. And so what I'm going to do is finish putting these on, and then I'll see you back here. So I'm up here just reattaching these 2-inch battens up top. I have to put a screw along the top of each one. I'm using an outdoor weatherproof screw here for these. Again, just feeling to make sure they're centered of the rafters. They don't have to be perfectly on, but and so it probably takes a half hour, maybe a little bit, to put this on. It's really not that bad. So what I'm going to do is go down and put these end caps on. So I'm down here at the bottom left corner, and Jared's up there at the other end, and this was a 10-foot roll, and so it was the perfect length. And what we're going to do is just roll this up, and I'm just going to tack my end, and then I'm going to run out of staples one of these times here. And so I'm just going to move over here, and let's see if I can roll up the middle. Yeah, you just want to keep it taut, Jared. There you go. That's a nice flat area to put your staple. And then I can actually just come over here, continue to roll it right up. Put 2 staples in, and then I'm going to come over on Jared's end and grab his end. But anyhow, the front rail of this lean-to greenhouse is a 2x6. I have 2 of them doubled up, sitting on top of each other, and so I'm just simply stapling this to the top edge of that 2x6. But you can see how nice this electric staple gun works. And what I did too is I just pulled the plastic down over the rafters, and then I put the battens on top of the plastic. So that works out real well. And then all I need to do is I have these pieces of aluminum capping. Then I'm going to put these pieces of aluminum capping that I made. You can come over here and take a close up of this. I'm going to just put this over the ends here so they'll look real nice. And even over here, the other end, I'm going to do the same thing. And so it's going to work out real nice. It's going to be able to keep the wind and the rain and the snow out of the lean-to greenhouse. And this lean-to greenhouse has really it's been great to have. It's very cost effective. I mean, it cost me $100, maybe a little bit more to build, and maybe a weekend project. And it's nice because it's attached to the side of the building here. And so this being about 8 foot by 16 foot, it holds a lot. I've been able to grow my kale and broccoli and Swiss chard in here all summer. Had some cucumber plants growing in here. It's just really been a good greenhouse. Since we've adopted a whole food plant-based lifestyle. This the vegetable garden in the lean-to greenhouse has taken on a whole new meaning, because it's where our fuel source for healthy living is. And so anyhow, I think this row cover, the polyethylene plastic, really went on real nice. It's nice and fit, nice and tight. And so I think that pretty much covers everything. And so, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. And I just want to thank you for joining me today. And so until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.